Hello and thank you for visiting Leezah's Lair. If you're a first time visitor, welcome. If you're a returning visitor, welcome. If you have not subscribed, please feel free to do so if you want to. There are about 75 videos on this channel. Over the course of the last 4 years, you're able to comment on any video that you want to get the conversation started. Even if it's an older video that interested you, go ahead and put a comment and I'll engage with you in the comments section on that particular topic if you want to. The avatar in front of you is Leezah Smiles, and I still have on my server uniform that I created after watching Emily Wan's video on waitressing in Second Life, and I still have on my uniform because I've been going to different sims that have restaurants just to check out the sim and see if it is a sim that I would like to work in. And this is my uniform, and I added just a few more things to it from the video that I posted before. I added a name tag. It's supposed to be customizable, but I'm not quite sure how to add my name to the tag yet, but I'll figure that out. But I just thought it made the uniform look more authentic. I hope it doesn't take away from the classic look of the avatar. Also, in one pocket of my uniform, I have a notebook because servers usually write down your order, and on the other pocket I put some tips, and I didn't have that in the uniform before, so I added that because I thought it added a realistic touch. I also changed the hair before I had an updo, but then I thought that perhaps it would still look professional if I did not have an updo and I had hair that was just straight and conservative looking, and so that's what I decided to go with for now. But I do have a lot of updos that I think I will put with this uniform, but this is what I'm doing. I'm just hopping from one restaurant to the next, looking at it, looking at the brand of the restaurant, seeing how busy it is, seeing if it's a place that would have a lot of customers where I'd be able to make some lindens. In my other video, I had a different tray. It was a lot larger, and so I went to a smaller tray, but the only difference is this is a smaller tray, and also it doesn't give water. The other tray was an older creation. It looked older, but it did give water. So anyway, I decided to go with this one only because it's not as bulky. Now that I've gotten out of the way the updates to my server uniform, I've changed, and the purpose of this video is I wanted to tell everyone that Facebook is now cracking down very quickly on the accounts where you are using your avatar for the account. My avatar account was taken away by Facebook, and what happens is anyone who maybe sees you on Facebook and sees that your avatar name is your username, they can report your account as quote unquote a fake account, or they can report it as a duplicate account. And then what Facebook does is they ask you to send in a real picture, they ask you to send in your driver's license, and they ask you for a current phone number. And then they have their systems verify that number, and then you have to respond with a code, so they totally verify who is actually operating that account. And if you don't want to do that, which I didn't, then they just shut down your account. So I just wanted to let everyone know that if you do have a Facebook account that is just for your avatar, that is not your first life identity, that if you're in these Facebook groups for Second Life, I was in a lot of Facebook groups for Second Life. If you're in a lot of these Facebook groups pertaining to Second Life, if you join a lot of those groups and anybody in that group just decides to be an ass and flag your account because they didn't like what you said in the comment section or something like that, that's what Facebook will do. They will then begin the process of verifying your account and making you provide all that information. And honestly, I'm not even going to provide all that information on my First Life account. If they ever, ask for verification, of um, you know, driver's license and all of that. I'm not doing that. Facebook is already having some issues with being accused of mishandling their users' data. And, so I think that it's interesting that now they're kind of cracking down on accounts, which is fine if they want to crack down on fake accounts. But I think having a second account or even a third account isn't a bad thing. Some people, they're supposed to use their Facebook account for work. So that's a legitimate reason to create a whole different account, because you're using it kind of like a LinkedIn account, and the people that you're friending, so to speak, are, people associated with your employer and things like that. And you're basically, that's just for work that you're using that Facebook account. So actually, I think Facebook should change their policy where people, can have more than one Facebook account. But anyway, I wanted to warn all of you out there about Facebook cracking down on that. If you do have a Facebook account that's just for your avatar, do not mention it to anyone in some of these Second Life discussion groups on Facebook that this is your second account or something like that, because it could, potentially cause some problems for you. So I wanted to mention that. One thing that I found really interesting was that on my First Life Facebook page, there was a person who was on my page who happened to be somebody who I had met in Second Life, and we didn't know that, and we had just been communicating, on our First Life account, and then I just happened to be looking in that person's groups, and I noticed that one of the groups that that person happened to be in was a Second Life related group, and that made me think, hey, this person is using Second Life, and so am I, even though I had not joined any Second Life related groups on my First Life account, because I had the avatar account at that point where I had all of the Second Life groups possible that I could belong to on the other account. And so we were engaging, I was engaging with this person, and I found out that yes, this person is somebody who not only had I met in Second Life, but who was even in my friend list in Second Life. So that just goes to show you that when you are your quote unquote real personality and being your real self, even in the virtual space, that the people that you connect with, even in the virtual space, are actually people that perhaps you have things in common with in your First Life. And that's what happened, is that I discovered that the same person was somebody that I had met through some other Facebook discussion group that wasn't even related to Second Life that I had met at that point, I guess. And then we were Facebook friends, and then I guess I then joined Second Life 7 years ago, and I ended up meeting that exact same person who doesn't have the same name, obviously, in Second Life. I ended up meeting the exact same person in the virtual space. So isn't that a great story? Comment below if there's any topics that you would like for me to cover on this channel. Of course, I'm happy to do it. As I said, there's already 75 videos over the last 4 years on this channel. There are so many topics that I haven't even covered yet that hopefully would pertain and be of interest to the older adults in Second Life, because that's what my channel aims to do, is create a community for those adults. I thought that having a YouTube channel would be a good way of older adults who are on YouTube looking for topics that haven't heard of Second Life, hopefully would somehow have found this channel, and that would motivate them to register for Second Life and join Second Life, or even people who are already in Second Life that are older adults who are looking for a community even in the YouTube space. So thank you again for visiting my channel, and I hope that you'll come back and watch a lot more videos, and more importantly, like, comment, and subscribe.